Well, we're really happy to be in the Netherlands. We really like it here. We were here 4 years ago, did a few shows, and this time we're doing 5 shows, and then we're going over to Scotland where we've never played for a couple of shows. But the show last night was our first one, and for our first show, it went well, and the audience was really good. They were involved from the downbeat, singing along and having a good time, and it's a good start, and we're looking forward to the rest of the shows.
Yes, and before we go there, I'd just like to mention that when we came here in '07, it was full band, 5-piece band, drums and the whole thing. But we're here as a trio, just Larry and myself and Fly. And we have picked up a guy named Jeffrey Patty, who's a percussionist here. We just met him yesterday, and we're working him in, so it's a work in progress. But we released our first album in 1973 worldwide, and it was on ABC. And we made a second album for them that we self-produced. It was, I guess, in retrospect, fairly self-indulgent, but it did have some good songs on it, including Dance With Me and Let There Be Music in their original recordings. But ABC did not like the album at all, and so they dropped us, and they did not release it except in one place where we had a hotbed following, and it was the Netherlands. It was the only place that came out at that time. It's later been released, on the merits of the hits we've had later. Then it came out later. It was originally called, I believe it was called Dance With Me, but it's known as Orleans 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and speaking of work in progress, we've kind of called this whole odyssey from 1972 a work in progress, and 2012 is our 40th anniversary. So we're coming up on that, and that's, who knew? It's cool.
John Hall has left the band at least twice, in '77 and then came back in '84, and then he left again in 2006 when he aspired to be elected to the U.S. Congress, which he did. He was elected and served 2 terms, 4 years, and then he was unelected. So since January of 2011, he's been available and chomping at the bit to play more and more. So he's been knocking on our door a lot. And the thing is that we've, in the past 5 years, very much solidified the band with Fly taking John's place, and we don't want to disrupt that. But we have done some shows with John this year that were appropriate. We did a 40th year reunion of the people in Ithaca around a club called the Salty Dog. And so we did that as a retro Orleans. We had Larry and me, Bob Weinbach, John Hall, and Charlie Shue, who was the drummer who replaced Willis Kelly. So it was a throwback band for a throwback event, which was perfect. And as we do this 40th year anniversary, we're going to try to do as many shows as we can, not replacing Fly with John, but adding John to the existing quintet.
Yeah, and we have a big gig at the Mohegan Sun Casino in Connecticut, which is it's a really great place as casinos go. And John and Fly will be on that date, and there'll be more of that. And we hope to go and play in all of the places where we really have deep roots, like upstate New York, Woodstock, a few other places over the course of the 40th year. And that in itself will be special. And then having the bigger band with John added to Fly will be special. So, if we can get it together, we'll put a recording out of some kind. And that'll be special. First of all, I think we all love what we do, so what else are we going to do? Go say, oh, let's not have the band anymore. Let's go work for some corporation, So that in of itself is a motivation. Is just to keep it going. But this band in particular, we write songs, we play new songs, we keep it going. 3 of us, our third brother, youngest brother Lane, we're family, and our parents met in a band, and this is what we do. And so we're all close personally. Charlie Morgan's been playing drums with us for 10 years. And Fly goes back, to the late 70s. So it's really a bunch of old family and friends working on what we like to do most. So it kind of motivates itself. And we all do things outside the band. It's not the only thing we have to do, but it's kind of the core, it's kind of home base. There's no reason to stop.
The reason we do it is why not do it? And it also is our bread and butter. I mean, it's a brand name, and you can't just start those things up and every week. So it has that power of economics behind it, but also we just enjoy doing it. If we didn't, and we have had moments over the years where this was no fun, and so we stopped. We would stop for a year or 3 years, but we never put it completely away. It just would, go in cycles. But we picked it up again in 2000, I think it was, and we haven't put it down since. So.
Yeah, we had a 4-year break after 1997. We kind of hit our nadir at that point, but it wasn't about the band so much as it was about the business surrounding the band. We were on this label that wasn't really a label, and it was kind of a road to nowhere, so it got very frustrating. But I think some bands that try to stay together or do stay together for, I don't know, a long time, 15 years, 20 years, and they're a little detached from their hits, maybe. They don't love their hits. They don't feel connected. And they feel like, God, we got to go out and sing, some awful hit that they made, that they got branded with. Well, we're not in that position. We don't go, oh, God, we got to play Dance With Me again. We actually really like Dance With Me, and we really still like Still the One, and et cetera, et cetera. So we don't have that curse of what kept Still the One out of number one in 1976 was Disco Duck. Now, if we had to play Disco Duck every night, we probably would have broken up by now. But we don't.